Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I did a makeup look. It's been so long since I did like a makeup tutorial makeup look, so I was like, you know what, let me sit down, do a little bit of like makeup therapy. I've been thinking about doing like a blue and orange makeup look for like almost a year now, but I never sat down and actually did it. I don't know why. It's just like, it's one of those things like, you know, every time I sit down I had another idea, so I was just like, I kept pushing it, but like I don't know. And then today I sat down and I created this look. Yeah, it's it's really different for me because usually I just do like a makeup look and I just do the eyes, but then I want it to be like more intricate. I want it to be like more intense, I guess. So that's why like you see all the blush and everything. It's super like out there. But I thought to myself like, you know what, it's festival season. It's like going out and everything. Summer's coming, so I was like, you know what, why not? And also I love blue and orange together. Complementary colors to me are just such a vibe. So that's why I was like, you know what, let me do something blue and orange. So I finally sat down, did it. I actually really love the way it came out. I hope you guys will enjoy it too. If you guys want to stick around and watch the actual makeup look, it'll be right after this. For now, yeah, this is how it looked. You guys will see like in the video I actually just did the eyes at first, and then I don't know, I just blinked and it looked like this. I was like, you know what, let's do something like more intense. So this is why I have all the blush, the super like duper intense blush. It's more like a sunset with like the blue and everything. So I really hope you guys will enjoy it. So just stick around and watch the makeup look. Okay guys, so let's just get started. So first I'm going to prime my eyes. You guys know I always use concealer. This is just my NYX concealer that I use on my face, under my eyes usually. I'm going to put it on my lids, and yeah, I just put it on my lids to make sure that I have a base. And yeah, I always try to do like tapping motion just so like it keeps the pigment of the concealer. And after that I do set my eyelids because you guys know I'm really oily, and if I don't, then my eyeshadow is just gonna crease, because I also have like folds on my eyelids. So that's why I prime my I set my eyes with a bit of translucent powder. Next I'm gonna use some tape, because honestly it's not necessary. It's just like, it just makes it easier for me when I do an eyeliner look. You guys will see, but you don't have to, honestly. If you don't want to, if you're like really capable, then just you can skip that step. But for me, I do need some tape. So here I'm just gonna use the eyeshadow by Colourpop first. It's the Lush Life palette by Colourpop, and the first shade I'm going to use is the shade Monsoon. So first what I do, I use a really small detailing brush, and I'm just gonna map out my crease basically. This is the part that's actually most crucial in the makeup look, and I'm happy it's like the first step of the makeup look, because if you fuck it up you can just like erase it and start over. Yeah, so just make sure you kind of map out your crease at the above your lid, and then after that just do a wing liner with the blue eyeshadow. Honestly, of all the blue eyeshadow that I have, this one is really nice. It has a bit of fallout, just so you guys know if you guys have it. I've never tried it before. It does have a bit of fallout, so just make sure you tap your brush before you apply it on your face. And here I'm just smoking it out a little bit, just so it's not just one harsh line. I just kind of wanted it to be a bit more blended, so that's why I'm just tapping into the eyeshadow and just smoking it out a little bit. And after, I just go back with the eyeshadow and just do a bit of tapping motion just to make sure that it's really blue. Sometimes with the concealer, since it's kind of a yellow undertone and the blue eyeshadow, it can turn a little bit green. So just make sure you go back with eyeshadow and just put it on top and do some tapping motion so the blue is really pigmented. And it should look something like this. Next, I'm just going to do the other eye, just trying to make it as similar as you can. Honestly, this part is actually hard for me because both of my eyes are not actually the same shape, so sometimes it's a bit harder for me. You guys will see it's not exactly the same, but you guys get the idea. And also you guys will notice that like on the other eye I did extend it all the way up to my brows. That's what I'm doing with this eye also. And yeah, I just wanted like the upper line to be like more dramatic, I guess, but you guys can just do whatever you like. If you want something a bit less or a bit more, just go with whatever makes you happy. Yeah, here I'm just doing the same thing that I did with the other eye. I'm just going to map out an eyeliner with the blue eyeshadow, and then here I'm just tapping it on to make sure the blue is really prominent, and then here on top also just mapping it out and smoking it out after. Just go back and forth until you're happy with the way it looks. So here I have a smaller detailing brush. I'm just making sure the blue line is really intense and just going over it with everything else. So next I'm go with my ABH Norvina collection palette, and I go with the eyeshadow called A5, and I'm just gonna put it all over my lid. Well, not actually all over my lid. I'm gonna leave the inner part bare and like the outer part bare. This is just a base for the next eyeshadow we're gonna use, because the next eyeshadow doesn't really have a base that's really like pigmented, so I just wanted to make sure that I have a nice orange base before I put the next eyeshadow. So yeah, just make sure it's like right in the middle. Don't put it in the inner corner. We're gonna put another eyeshadow there, and yeah, just make it similar on both eyes. And also the outer corner, I'm just stopping it right there, because after that we're gonna go and blend it more. So yeah, make sure this eyeshadow is really packed on. I find like her eyeshadows are more like pigments in a palette, but you know, just make sure it's really nicely packed on. Next I'm going to use the Colourpop Fade Into Hue palette. I'm going to use the shade Art Deco. This was the shade that I said that like it doesn't really have a base to it. That's why I used the other orange eyeshadow first to put underneath. And basically with this eyeshadow, I'm just gonna put it all over. When I say all over the lid, like in between the blue lines that we did. Yeah, this shade too, make sure it's packed on. It has a bit of glitter on it and it's really nice. And here you can see I just use another brush, like a blending brush, and I just blended the outer corner just to make sure that it blends like away from the eye. So I just go a bit back and forth with the two eyeshadows and just make sure that like it doesn't stop at a harsh line and it looks blended out basically. So you want to do the same thing with the other eye. So I just started with the shade Art Deco and put it all over my lid, and then after I go with a blending brush and just make sure that everything is more seamless at the outer corner. And yeah, it kind of just diffuses and it should look something like this. Next, you can actually take off the tape. You're done with the tape. I did add a bit of mascara, and next we're gonna move on to the skin. So first I'm using I used two primers for this look because I really need my face to be not oily. Yeah, so first I use my Smashbox oil control primer, and then I am using this photo finish, I think it's smooth and blur primer on top. Everything will be down below. I don't remember the names exactly, but everything will be down below in the description box. So just make sure you have a nice primer before you start doing your makeup. For skin, I'm using foundation. I'm using my Skin Tint by Maybelline. You guys know I love this one. There's a review on my channel if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'll tell you all the details about it. And next I'm going to use my Fenty Skin Tint in the shade 18. I basically mix the two because I find my skin tint is a bit not warm enough, I guess. So I just mix a little bit with the skin tint and I get the perfect shade right now for myself. And yeah, I'm just gonna blend my my foundation, my skin tint, whatever you guys want to call it, and yeah, just make sure it's well blended. So next I'm using my concealer. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Golden Honey. Yeah, this is the concealer I'm going to use today. This is what I've been using all my last posts anyways. Yeah, so here I'm just going to take a small brush to blend it out. I put it under my eyes, my nose, and around my nose also. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just gonna blend it out, and then after I take my foundation brush just to make sure that everything looks seamless and there's no harsh lines. That's why I always go back with my foundation brush right after. And next I'm going to bronze my face. This is the Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Deep. Yeah, and I'm just gonna use like an angle brush to bronze up my face. Yeah, I kind of changed my technique a little bit. Like now I do more tapping motion instead of a swiping, and I find it gives me more pigment and also looks better, and the placement is better. So if you want to try this technique, just do it also. You'll see a difference. And then after that, I'm using some blush. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Coral Crush. I really love that shade. It's a bit more pink than what I remember. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I have the orange on my eyelids, and then in comparison it looks more pink, but it's meant to be like some kind of like orange corally like shade. Anyways, I put it all over my cheeks, and I kind of bring it up a little bit up to my temples. And yeah, this is where I kind of like, I was like, you know what, the look is salvageable, and I think I'm gonna really like it. This is when I got the idea to make it like a really intense blushy look. You guys will see later. And then after this, I decided to set my face before everything started to crease. So I'm just using like a small cosmetic sponge. I just have some lying around, that's why I use them. But honestly, like, because it kind of gives you like a lot of trash to, you know, it's not good for the environment. But anyways, I'm just gonna set my whole face with that Can't Stop But Stop powder. And then here I just wanted to define my eyes a little bit more because I didn't want to put blue under on my lower lash line, so I just added some like brown eyeshadow just to define my eyes a little bit more. And after this, I'm just gonna take off my big with a big powder brush. Here too, I decided to do more tapping motion just to make sure that like it leaves a nice pigment on my face and everything just blends out really nicely. So after this, I decided to put on some mascara, and I'm using my Maybelline Sky High mascara just on my lower lashes. And then after, I went with my Morphe palette. I think it's the AW blush palette, and I'm using like the last shade. I think it's called Provocative, but I'm not sure, so just look down below for the exact name. And here I just thought, you know what, let's go all in. So I'm just adding a lot of blush. I guess we'll see, I'm gonna add more later. After this, I'm just using a bit of highlight. I'm using my Maybelline Molten Gold highlight. Yeah, and after this, I'm going back with the shade A5 from the Norvina palette. I think this is volume 3, by the way, if you guys didn't know. And yeah, I'm just using like a big blending brush. I'm just like putting it on top of my blush to make it more intense, and also like to make it more orangey, so it blends really well with the eyeshadow that I have on my eyelids. And I'm putting on my nose also. We're putting it everywhere. And here I'm going back with the blush, but the thing is, with blush it can only go like so dark. That's why I kind of mixed it with the eyeshadow. And here I decided, like, you know what, let's do a 2016 kind of highlight. So I went back on my highlight from Maybelline. I'm just adding a ton of highlight. And guess what, we saw it from the intro, my highlight was blinding. Okay, I'm just gonna say it was blinding. Make sure it's well blended though, you don't want just like one big harsh line. And here I was like, you know what, it's not intense enough, so I went back with the shade, I think it's called C2 from the Norvina palette, and I'm just adding a bit more. Like, this one is like more reddish orange, almost like a burnt orange. It's really like has a really strong red undertones, just to make sure like it's really blown out and it blends really well with the cheeks. After this, I'm just doing my lip combo. I'm using my BFF4 by Colourpop. And next, on top of that, I'm gonna use my Maybelline Ultimate lipstick in the shade More Blonde, I believe. And yeah, just make sure it's well blended. And yes, my lips were crusty. I don't know why, my lips were really crusty that day. And yeah, just make sure it's well blended. And then I go back a bit with the eyeliner just to make sure exactly like everything is well blended. Since my lips are crusty, I thought, you know what, let's do a glossy look. So I went back with my butter gloss in the shade Butterscotch just right on top of that. And yeah, just make sure it's nicely blended all together. And here I'm just using I think it's a liquid eyeliner just to put back on my beauty marks on my face. I do add a bit more, I'm gonna be honest, but I do have some beauty mark on my face, but whatever. And here I'm just doing some touch-ups, and you're basically done. That's it. So yeah guys, that's it. This is how I did the makeup look. This is the makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I had a lot of fun like just sitting down and creating it, so I hope you guys enjoy it just as much as me. Honestly, I just needed some like kind of like makeup therapy. Usually I just sit down and do like an everyday makeup look, but I actually needed to like play with some colors today. This makeup look is just like, it's giving me like I want to do more. So stick around for this. And yeah, this is how it looks. Just a little close up for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had fun watching me. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon, and I'll love you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.